Hi friends and welcome to another video. My name is Julie if you're new here, and this is my March wrap-up. This wrap-up is going to be a little bit different from the other ones I've done before just because I haven't read as many books that weren't for other videos, and I don't really want to go into much detail about the books that I only read for videos, because you can watch the videos on that and then you'll know my thoughts. That would be, kind of redundant. So I'm just going to tell you which books I read and tell you about one in particular that I just read for fun. And I also want to tell you about my reading plans for the next months when I'm at university. I read 9 books this month, which is a good amount for me. A little bit less than I read in the last 2 months, but that's totally fine. I just had a lot more personal stuff going on, so I didn't have as much time for reading. And I also started and DNF'd a book, and I started reading a book that I didn't finish yet, but that I plan to finish over the next months or whenever I have the time to finish it. The first book that I read this month was Forbidden Puck by June Winters, and that's a hockey romance. I liked it a lot, I can recommend it, and it's also going to be in my hockey romance recommendation video that I have already filmed. So stay tuned for that. I read the 3 Heartstopper books, which I have made a full-on vlog. I loved them. I'm so excited to be reading the 4th and the 5th one sometime this year. And I know the 5th one is going to be the last one in the series, and I'm already a little bit sad about that, but I really hope that Alice Oseman will put out more graphic novels because she is great at making them. Then I read 3 books for a video that is reading books based only on the covers, and these books were While the Girls by Rory Power, Emergency Contact by Mary H.K. Choi, and These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. And that was definitely an interesting experience going into these books without knowing anything about them. Then I also read Heartbones by Colleen Hoover. I read that in my little chaotic self-care vlog and finished it last night. And it's a Colleen Hoover book. What else am I going to say? I rate it at 5 stars. It's still my favorite author. And of course I cried while I was reading it. Then the book that I want to tell you about is Good Girl, Bad Blood by Holly Jackson, the second part of the Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy, I believe. And oh my god, this was so good. I also rated it 5 stars. It was such a good read. It really got me in the mood to read a little more like murder mysteries, maybe. I would love to do that. So this book is about Pip. She has this true crime podcast, and in her hometown, a person goes missing. Someone that she, I think, vaguely knows. And one of his family members asks her to investigate this case because the police won't do anything about it. And she's very opposed to that at first because she's like, I did that in like what happened in the first book, and that kind of messed up my life. So I don't know if I should be doing this. I don't want to do this, but nobody else is doing something. So I kind of have to because he's missing, and that's obviously not a good situation. And if nobody does anything about it, he will stay missing. The family doesn't believe that he has run away. So yeah, she decides in the end that she will be doing something about it and that she will investigate this case. And it's so interesting. I love the small town vibes that it has while also being very deep. I love her inner monologue. She's such an interesting character and also deals with like people accusing her of only using this for her podcast, and that's a very cool story. And if you're into murder mysteries and YA, then go read this. It's so good. I love Holly Black's writing style. It's just so fast-paced and you fly through the story, and it has the perfect climax at the end. Yeah, just read it. I will definitely be reading the third part of this series as well, which I think came out this year. It's called As Good As Dead, and it also sounds very promising. The book that I DNF'd this month was Fighting Temptation by Casey Lynn. I was looking for like a friends to lovers kind of thing that also had this good girl, bad boy vibe, which this book was supposed to have. And I started listening to it as an audiobook, but I got so frustrated, even right at the beginning, and then I tried to continue, but it just made me so angry. We have this main character, Julia, and then the hero is Jackson, and I don't even know, he doesn't deserve to be called a hero, but whatever. He's just constantly being like, I'm too bad for her, I'm not good enough, and therefore I have to sleep with several other women and break her heart, and that's basically what happens. And she isn't even allowed to like speak to another guy, date another guy. I don't know, it's so stupid, and it's like packaged as him trying to protect her. But then I read in the Goodreads review section that, spoiler, he also sleeps with other girls when they are already together, and that's like something that I definitely do not want to read about. I hate cheating in books, I hate cheating in real life, obviously. So yeah, definitely wasn't for me. I also fell asleep several times while I was listening to this audiobook, which didn't help. But it was mainly the storyline that was not my thing. So these were the books that I read this month. Oh, and I also started reading House of Sky and Breath, but I haven't finished it. I'm like halfway through, about this much. So the lower part is what I've read, and this part I still have to read. Anyway, such a beautiful book. Look at it. Yeah, I started reading that. Going to do a vlog on it, but I still need time. So these were all of the books that I read this month, and my reading plans for the next few months can be put into like a few different categories of books that I want to read. So first of all, I want to read like summer holiday romances, because I'm really in a spring mood right now, and I want to get into the summer mood later in, I don't know, maybe May, June, or even now. I'm just ready for summer, and I want to get into summer with reading these books because it's way too cold right now. It's not even remotely summer here, but I want to get this vacation summer feeling through books. That's my mood right now. And one of the summer romances I want to read in the next few months is The Spanish Love Deception by Eleanor Armas, because I haven't read it yet. Then I also want to read a few sapphic books, because I have realized that I read many books that feature like gay male characters, but not as many sapphic books, and I want to change that, because why shouldn't I? Representation is important, and I want to diversify my reading, obviously, as one should. So I'm trying to be more conscious about that when picking my books. One that I really want to read, for example, is I Kissed Sarah Wheeler by Casey McQuiston, because Casey McQuiston is one of my favorite romance authors, or like authors in general, so I hope that I will like this one. Then I also want to read a few Hollywood romances, because I just like them, and I have put them on my like either 23 for 2023 or my like most anticipated books for this year list. The one that I really want to read in the next few months is The Wrong Coaster by Alexandra Moody, and I also would love to read some books that are set in South Korea, because I think that's an interesting country and I want to read books that are based there. Maybe I will even find some K-pop romance books. That would be cool. So yes, these are more or less my reading plans for the next 3 months. And I will definitely update you when I'm back from university if I read any of these books and how it went. So yeah, I'm kind of excited. I'm excited for summer, I'm excited for new books, and also for university. Tell me what kind of books you want to read over the next few months in the comments, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!